Welcome, welcome. Come on in here. You see what we're about to talk about. You see what the thumbnail is about. Y'all, I haven't watched this video yet, okay? But you might as well become a second wife. It definitely caught my attention. Make sure you guys connect with me on Instagram, TikTok. Check out the website, y'all. I have started blogging. Yes, so you have to read, okay? www.thefiercemompreneur.com. Please go ahead and check it out. Shop some of my digital products and also join the Fierce Mompreneur. Let's get into it. Let's see what he's talking about, okay? Let's do this.
I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. I got a video that I'm doing a review to. And the reason why I think that this is relevant to have a conversation about afterwards is because it's also something that I coach a lot.
I do just want to say that background, I believe he's in Detroit. That is beautiful, y'all. What do y'all think? Drop a comment below if you're from Detroit or have traveled to Detroit.
A lot of guys on. And it's a question that's not really answered a lot because we speak on it on the reverse. So I'll give you an example. I have a conversation a lot of times, and I tell guys, I even told a guy yesterday, and I did a video where I kind of spoke on it, where I said that you should never, ever, under any circumstances, want to or give in to the idea that you want to raise somebody else's child. Let me say that again. Never, ever subject yourself.
I hear that a lot because when the relationship goes south with the parent, the child is involved in that. So now the child experiences two divorces. And that is, if you are reading my blogs, you already know what I'm going through right now. That was my biggest concern about dating, at this current point in time. That's my biggest concern because I don't want to have my child experience that because I experienced that. So that's something I think I'm gonna do another video on. But let's
yourself
continue.
to the idea of being a step crash dummy. A lot of guys feel compelled to do it because they had a stepfather, and whether their experience was ideal or less than ideal, a lot of times they then acquiesce over or they feel obligated to go and save somebody else's child because they did. Sometimes when women want to try to make the point to say that it's okay to be the stepfather, they'll then act like, well, you had a stepfather. It's the same thing that happens when you hold a woman accountable and they say, well, it must be hurt, or they'll say something to the tune of, well, you act like you ain't got a black mama or something like that, right? And it's all.
And my thing is too, okay, so we're talking about, stepfathers, but that goes for stepmoms as well too, right? To jump in that role of doing all these duties for a child that is not yours. Because when that relationship breaks. Now, I guess too, the difference is stepping into that role of stepmom or stepfather and not being married. So I'm thinking there is a difference, but when do you cross over to say those duties? Is it when you're engaged? Is it when you're dating? Or is it not until you actually get married? And then even if you get married, that's your second marriage or your first marriage, it depends on, the dynamics. You still have a chance of getting a divorce. And how does that dynamic work? I mean, you don't have visitation rights with the children. So how do you keep that relationship with the children? Or are you someone that just walks away and says, I'm done with the whole situation, F him and his kids or F her and her kids? How does that play? Comment, please.
All just posturing and nonsense, and they just talking because they want to deflect from the idea that they need to be held accountable for the actions that they made or breaking up their family or choosing the wrong guy to have a child with. On the reverse, though,
I hate when he says that. I hate when he says that. It's not that you chose the wrong person. whether you chose the wrong woman or chose the wrong guy. Honestly, a lot of us, we get in those situations and life changes. You adult, financial situations, it's not honestly what you thought it was going to be with that person. The dynamics, how you want to raise children is different, so it plays a lot. But I don't think at the time of making the child, we're making the wrong decision. Now some, you had all the red flags and you ignored them, but some no.
One of the things that I don't speak to a lot is, should it also be the same rules applied or the standards applied when it becomes a woman, right? When a guy has children, what should you expect if you decide that you want to get into a relationship and you don't have children, or you do have children? And again, I think that people that have children, a lot of times they need to go back to the person that they was with. And I know you're gonna say, well, what if he was trashing all of this stuff? Was he trash when you was laying down with him? Because he's no different, or she's no different from the person that you was, or that they were when you had children with them. It's just that you then all of a sudden wanted to grow a set of balls because you wanted to think about the well-being of the children, and you thought that you can do better by yourself. It's not true. The children need their biological parent, and they're going to have a relationship with them. Anyway, which leads me to my point. And the point that I'm going to make is that women a lot of times think that once they get into a relationship with a guy that is no longer with the child's mother, right? No longer with his baby mama, that she somehow, some way has more impact and sway over what he does, or his relationship with her is more important than the relationship that he has with his child's mother. Now, I'm going to qualify this by saying that this is for active fathers only, right? This is not for the guy that's running around town populating the entire country by having sex with everybody and having a whole bunch of children because he's a dope boy and he think that his legacy is going to be based off of his bloodline versus what it is that he did in the streets. Nope, you're still going to jail. Nope, your ops are still looking for you. Please be careful who you decide to have children with, ladies. But my point is that that man is married to that woman regardless of whether or not they have children. I mean, whether or not they have a marriage certificate, or they ever got married, or they ever got divorced, whatever. That man is always going to be married to that woman, one way or.
Now, I have said this. I have said you can date someone and you can marry someone. You can clean slate, walk away. But once children are involved, you are technically, and like he said, this is for active, not just child support fathers or child support mothers. This is not just for, here and there. These are for active, involved parents. Hey, dad, pick me up. Hey, dad, I want to go get some ice cream. That type of flow. So I do feel that, and that's why I feel when you're dating, and I think a lot of time women settle for a man with children and want all these boundaries and stuff because the father of your children didn't do it. So now you feel like he shouldn't have to do it for his children. And I think that is where the issues come in play, where all of a sudden we're not together but we're co-parenting, and then you get a new relationship and now it's the issue that you can't come because now this new woman or new man is saying you ain't got to do all that, you doing too much, you in a new relationship, you got to respect what's over here. But while they're respecting what's over here, it is taken away from their child at the end of the day. And that's why I think, yeah, it does be where you do got to just focus on your children. you know um Dating is hard because I feel too, if you're an active parent, how do you have time to actively pour into another relationship? Yes, you can do it, but then that is involving your children in that relationship eventually, right? Or it's going to be just a screw thing unless you have week on and week off. But I mean, it's just so much when children are involved.
Or another, because your attachment to the person is forever through the children. That's why scripturally and historically, the person that you were married to was the person that you had children with. It didn't matter whether you had a piece of paper or not. People always get caught up on the idea what do I need a piece of paper for? You don't need a piece of paper. Listen, you are going to get your ass kicked. If you decide that you wanted to leave that woman or she decided that she wanted to leave you and y'all had kids together, y'all so worried about marriage instead of being worried about whether or not you had the child with the person. Don't you know that child support or family court is going to be for the next 2 decades? You get divorced from a woman and y'all can have a dispute over alimony or whatever. And most of the time, a prenuptial agreement that is done the right way is ironclad. It's ironclad. Y'all just ain't doing the proper due diligence. You run into the courthouse to get married, or you run into Vegas to get married, and then you get your marriage certificate, and then y'all want to combine resources over the next couple of years, and then you want to try to, oh man, I can't believe it. No, nigga, you just didn't do what you were supposed to do legally so that you could protect yourself if that's what you wanted to do, and you was really in love at that time, and you didn't give it a little bit of time to vet out because you were so enamored with the box that you got distracted. But you are way, way more impacted by the person that you have children with than the person that you got married to. So we having the wrong conversations. We having conversations and we talking about the wrong thing.
Y'all go ahead and check out the rest of the video. I'm going to watch the rest of it, but I can't believe it, y'all. I'm actually kind of agreeing with him. The dynamics of raising children and dating is so tricky, y'all. It is so tricky. Y'all comment below and let me know what y'all think. Do you think you should introduce the children to the significant other? Do you think step parents should step in and parent? Like what dynamics do you guys think work? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. Please make sure you go over to his page and check out the rest of the video. These are conversations. These are healthy conversations. It's not pinning women against men. These are just healthy conversations that we do need to have. And it's something that the younger people need to think of. Are connected, even though people say, oh, I got a child, I ain't got to deal with the mama. Oh, I ain't got to deal with the daddy. I ain't got, yes, do. And you have to be in a mentally healthy place even before you guys start bringing other people into the mix. You guys need to be at a healthy place. It's so important. It is so important. You guys make sure you like and subscribe, turn on your alerts, and also make sure you go to the website, www.thefiercemompreneur.com. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Let's run it up. Let's run it up.